Hello and welcome to that Double D team. It's your boy DIGA. This is another video for our top 10s. This is my top 10 favorite stand-up comedians. This is in no order, but real order, but these are my top 10 greatest comedians ever. Excuse me, wow. Starting from number 10, boy Chris Rock. Now, I remember his stand-up Bigger and Blacker, I think it was 2000, 2001. Probably one of the best stand-ups I've ever seen. It was so many memorable jokes, you know, tossing salad, syrup. It's too much. But, you know, he actually, I had like a soundtrack from it too. No Sex in the Champagne Room. That was a big hit off of there. He kind of went gold actually with Gerald Levert, R.I.P. But yeah, moving on, that was my number 10, Chris Rock. Number 9, Kevin Hart. Now, I kind of have an issue with this one, but he is one of the best comedians doing stand-up right now. For the past 4 or 5 years, he had the game on Smash. I like his stand-up. I prefer his movies better. That's all. But stand-up-wise, he's still dope. But I prefer his movies. But that's my number 10. No, number 9, Kevin Hart. Fucking hell. Number 8 goes to the man Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino. He caught me off guard because I didn't even know he was a comedian at first. I thought he was a rapper. In fact, I seen him in a movie that was comedy, pretty low budget. It was pretty corny, but it was still kind of joke. And then I ended up seeing him on BET Backstreet doing a freestyle. I was thinking, isn't that the same guy from that movie? Then, boom, found out who he was. Childish Gambino, Donald Glover. He has a stand-up called Weirdo, I think it's called. Man.
Comedy Central Special.
Comedy Central Special. That shit is so hilarious. The bubble, the baby in the bubble. Kanye West, Lady Gaga is just there, a bear. It's just that was there's so many moments on that special. It was dope. But that's my number 8.
Community. Donald
Glover. Yeah, he smashed in Community too. But yeah, moving on to number 7, Chris Tucker. Yeah, I've been following Chris Tucker from when I was young, probably like 7, 8 years old. Used to do Def Comedy Jam, the stand-up. Anybody who knows, that broke a lot of artists back in the day, a lot of comedians back in the day. They came up through that. Yeah, and you know, through time he's done his thing with Rush Hour, and he's done more stand-up specials and all that. But yeah, that's the one right there, number 7, Chris Tucker. Moving on, number 6, Katt Williams. Like I say now, like how Kevin Hart is now, that was Katt Williams. Like 2006, 7, 8, 9, probably 10. Yeah, about 2006 to 2009. That was Katt Williams, man. You couldn't even fuck with him. He was pimping. And you know, he hopped on, I think Ice Cube brought him in on the Friday 3. The Friday After Next. Yeah, Friday After Next. That's kind of a Christmas movie itself, you know, now I think about it. Mm-hmm. It takes place over Christmas. That could actually even flip it to my Christmas list. You never know. But anyway, yeah, Katt Williams, man, he smashed it. And he actually dropped a newish, past 6, 7 months, another special on Netflix, stand-up. I thought he was washed up after him getting choked out by a little 12-year-old. A lot of controversy behind Katt. But after he got choked out by the kid over the football game, the soccer football game, I thought, nah, he's kind of washed up. He has, what can he do? His last special, man, had me in stitches. I couldn't, it was just hilarious from start to finish. But yeah, moving on.
Atlanta.
Oh yeah, he popped up in Atlanta. It's the Gator Man, you know. I ain't crazy. they ain't lying. I got a gator in here. But yeah, that was dope. Moving on, number 6. No, number 6. That was number 6. Katt Williams. Moving on, number 5. The man, R.I.P. Bernie Mac, the legend. Started out on Def Comedy Jam. legendary skits, moments from Kings of Comedy. He had his own TV show for a little bit. You know, he did the last movie I remember seeing him in was with Samuel L. Jackson, Soul Man. That's a movie you guys all watch. That was hilarious. That movie made Samuel L. Jackson come out as a comedian, you know, because he was rolling with Bernie. Bernie from what's that movie he did? How to Be a Player. Smell like Badussy. Booty dick
Badussy up
pussy.
in here.
You know, like legendary bars like that.
Mate.
I ain't scared.
Hit my gums because they black.
Hit my guns because they back. What's that? Don't be a menace.
Black keys and a piano.
Hate the back and forth. Nella whip.
Wesley
Hit that black ass Wesley Snipes. Yeah.
Oceans as well. He was in that whole
Yeah.
franchise, man.
He made Oceans
Big
11,
for him.
12, 13. Like he was the comic relief on that. Subtle. He wasn't too much comedy, but he was in it and he did his thing.
I mean, the Bernie Mac show was good, but I first got into him like Kings of Comedy.
Yeah. Saying Kings of
Through
Comedy.
Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
Association, like, yeah. Bam.
Those were the days, man. R.I.P. Bernie Mac, man. Comedy really isn't the same. They got people still carrying it on, but not really doing it how you were doing it when you originated it. Moving on, number 4, Dave Chappelle. There's not really too much to say about Dave Chappelle, because if you know about Dave Chappelle, then there it is.
Game. Blouses.
Blouses. Like there's so much about Dave Chappelle that he did his latest specials for Netflix after he's been on like I want to say a 10-year hiatus. He's been gone. They say he went crazy. He did 2 specials for Netflix. Hilarious. I remember the old school one, Killing Him Softly. My big sister, she had that on DVD. Love that. That's a Comedy Central special too, you know, now I think about it. But Dave Chappelle's been doing this thing for years. He started out on Def Comedy Jam too. Like all the greats do. Yeah. What more can I say about Dave? You know, he's a legend in the game. What's that movie, Half Baked? That's a stoner classic. You know? Remember Snoop Dogg popped up and started hitting the weed? But yeah. Like I ain't even hit the motherfucker yet. Like
Chappelle
damn.
Show.
Yeah, Chappelle Show was classic. You know, 2 great seasons. You know, brought Charlie Murphy into the game. But that's what legends do. They bring other people into it so they can shine and all that. You know, Tyrone Biggins. The 5 o'clock free crack giveaway. It's Tyrone. Yeah, that's my shit. My big brother, he used to do that shit. Like he can do it to a T. But I feel that all my siblings are comedians. But yeah. That was my number 4, Dave Chappelle. Moving on. Number 3, Martin Lawrence. I don't know if you guys can know, like, see where my list is going. This is like my top 10, like, Black American comedians. These are like legends in the game for me. But yeah, my number 3, Martin Lawrence. He was the host, the very first host of Def Comedy Jam. So he had the opportunity of bringing a lot of these people who I mentioned out onto the stage, and all of them pay homage to him. When he used to do his own solo stand-up, he used to bring other comedians on the road with him. Like there's another he brought a lot of people out there. He put a lot of people on, and a lot of people owe their career to Martin Lawrence. And he did little small roles like in House Party. He had his own TV show back in the day. That shit was hilarious. What was his stand-up back in the day? You So Crazy. He had the motherfucking the clothes back in the day, the leather pants with the motherfucking like a baseball jersey, but it was like his own little style to it. That shit was so dope back in the day. He original out of shit. But moving on, probably one of the legends. He is a legend. I say top 2. There's a lot of other comedians who I didn't mention in this list, but this guy, he's either number 2 or number 1. But right now, he's number 2. I give it to the man, Eddie Murphy. Raw, delirious, like he was solidified from those 2 alone. And he obviously broke away from doing stand-up and went to do his movies and all that. He had like a little music career for a hot second. Like Eddie can hold a note now, don't get it twisted. But yeah, he did, I want to say probably like over 30 movies, easily over 30. Probably, I don't know, but I'm just saying, yeah, I can imagine it's easily over 30 movies.
Beverly Hills Cop trilogy.
Yeah, he started that.
Nutty Professors.
Nutty
where you
Professor
played
trilogy.
multiple people.
Yeah, he was the first guy I seen do that, like play different characters, like Professor Klump, his mama, daddy, his brother, like everybody. Buddy Love. Yeah, he even brought Dave Chappelle. He brought Chappelle into the movies. Like Chappelle was already into the stand up, but he brought him in Nutty Professor. Life. That was oh man.
And twins, Steve Martin running across the road.
Yeah. Bowfinger. I watched that late. That's probably the last Eddie Murphy movie I have actually watched, and I found that shit to be hilarious. Him, like the movie's hilarious when he plays the brother with the braces and he just smiling and he got the glass. That shit's hilarious. But in Life, there was, I want to say, damn near most of the comedians I named, not even most, a lot of the comedians that I named from back in the day were in that movie. Martin Lawrence was in it. That was his co-star. Bernie Mac, AJ Anderson. AJ Johnson,
yeah.
AJ Anderson, that's it.
Anthony Anderson.
Anthony Anderson, check me out, fucking up. He'll whoop my ass if I'm fucking shit like that. Yeah, there's a lot of big names in there.
Romeo Must Die, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you like Prince? Huh? You a freak, huh? Dim Sum and Dim Sum. You know what? I was thinking about that a couple days ago, and I was thinking that's a fucked up, like the way he dropped it like that. But anyway,
you win some,
and Dim Sum you lose.
You lose.
Like wow, that's fucked. Anyway, but yo, Eddie Murphy, he was the king of the stand-up game from the 80s into like the 90s. He's still legend to this day. You know, he has his older brother, Charlie Murphy, who moved on to do stand-up as well. People used to compare him like, oh, you're not Eddie. Obviously, he's not Eddie. He's Charlie.
No one's
you know?
Eddie.
No one's Eddie, exactly. You feel me? But Charlie obviously made a name for himself. R.I.P. Charlie Murphy. You know, he's another legend. He's starting the game kind of late, but he became a legend early. But that's my number 2, Eddie Murphy. Moving on, my number one stand-up comedian of all time, all hail, Richard Pryor. Man, R.I.P. The legend. All these comedians they're all funny, but they can't compare to this guy here. Endless amount of jokes. He doesn't even have to do. He doesn't even have to like to even do a joke. He can just his mannerism on stage alone, the way he moves. What was the joke about the lions trying to catch black people? Like you ain't catch. Hey, back up.
Difference between black and white people
walking
through the jungle.
Walk through the jungle.
Yeah.
Snake. Like we got so much. We're so smooth with it.
So smooth.
But yeah, Richard Pryor, man, he's one of the legends.
Take that with you.
Yeah.
Chest just keeped it around like that.
You remember that one? Yeah, Richard Pryor, man, he's a legend.
Want to see an impression of Richard Pryor? When he lit the match on stage.
Funny enough, Richard Pryor's son is a comedian as well. Sadly to say, he's not as funny as his father at all. He actually went on stage and he just was bombing, and people were booing him, and he had the nerve to say, "Y'all shouldn't boo me. I'm Richard Pryor's son." That made them boo even more. Like, don't use a next man to get your father done built himself up.
Do you know who I am?
You know, like, come on, that means nothing. Nothing at all. But Richard Pryor, legend. He went to do movies, Harlem Nights. Yeah, he did a couple movies with him.
Gene
Wilder, yeah. Yeah, a lot of classic movies. But that's my number 1, Richard Pryor. That's been my top 10 favorite stand-up comedians all time. Obviously, my boy JD and D, they did their versions too, but mine is obviously the best. You know?
A lot of similarities in my list though.
You know?
About 6 of them, 7.
Yeah, great minds think alike, you know? But also, like, share, subscribe. Don't forget. Peace.